A very good afternoon to all the students and a warm welcome to one and all present today for the online lecture of second year BCom semester 3 for the subject management. Now students, we have been attending number of lectures by now where we have discussed number of topics in the second unit of management that talks about the recent techniques in human resource management. You are very well aware about the different contents to be covered in Unit 2, out of which we have covered all the different techniques for human resource management, such as employee leasing, moonlighting by employees, the dual career groups, flexi time, and flexi work. And since number of lectures by now, we have been discussing on one particular topic that is nothing but TQM, meaning to say total quality management. We have understood its concept, we have understood its history. We also understood in the previous lecture the different principles of quality management. And today we are going to understand the relationship between the total quality management and the functional management. That is to say, the comparative analysis of TQM and the traditional approach towards quality management. So, those two things we shall be discussing today. Before we move ahead with understanding the relationship between quality management and functional management, I would like to give you an overview of the topic TQM that we have discussed so far. In so many lectures now, I have explained you the concept of total quality management. I hope you remember why was it termed TQM and what does total quality management stand for. So I had explained you that it is basically a concept of improvising the quality of every product that the company offers and every service that is provided to the customers. When I say quality has to be improvised, we were not talking about a one time show. It was not a quick fix, but it was working on the quality improvement on a continuous basis. And that also not only to be performed by a single person in the organization and not considered to be responsibility of any single employee, but everybody working in the organization had to be made quality conscious under TQM. The one who is performing any kind of a task or any kind of a job has to work for the quality improvement of the same, because it is only then that the entire product produced at last would be free from any defects or errors whatsoever. The basic aim was to understand what the customers want, realizing their needs and expectations, and thereby providing them the same so that they stay loyal towards the organization, they stay satisfied with the product or the service offered. So, I had explained you all about total quality and management. I also explained you the concept of the same, the meaning of the same. As I said, it is a continuous effort, but not just by a single person, but by the entire organization to work towards improvising of the quality and thereby ensuring customer satisfaction. Thereby, students, we have understood the advantages of total quality management. You can very quickly just have a look over it because we have already revised the same in the previous lecture. So, as I said, the needs of the target market, the customers were understood, and thereby everybody was motivated to work towards improvement of the quality. You need to frame a long-term plan, a strategy for the same, and communicating it to each and everyone in the organization. Also, it works for removing the unproductive and the waste activities so that the value to the customer can be increased. Understanding the competition, because definitely TQM helps you understand the needs and the expectations of the customers. Providing the same and having a global approach towards whatever you do makes you a good competitor in the market. You tend to achieve that competitive edge and thereby you can survive very easily. Helps to remove any sort of barrier to communication. And as I said, it is a never ending improvement. It does not consider quality improvement to be just for a specific time period. but it is to be done continuously. Students, very quickly pay attention to the history of TQM that we had discussed earlier. I had explained you as to who coined the term the total quality management. We talked about how the concept of not TQM basically, but quality management was understood during the First World War, where large scale production was taking place and the quality was not up to the mark, and therefore quality inspectors were appointed to test the quality. The testing of quality was done by a statistical method being initiated by the father of statistical process control, Shewhart, and he explained us with the sampling method, also known as the SQC, statistical control, where one can test the sample, and rather than testing the whole of the batch of production, to test whether there are any errors being involved in the production. But it was during World War II when we remember that there was heavy losses faced all over. Japan was not producing good quality products. The products were quite of poor quality, and thereby the Japanese engineers and industrialists had invited William Edwards Deming, who is also often regarded as the father of total quality management, who gave his principles, and thereby the quality was improvised all over. We discussed how in 1980 almost every company started utilizing the total quality management principles and thereby became quite famous and familiar worldwide. Thereby, in the previous lecture, students, we understood the principles of quality management. I hope you remember there were some 7 principles that talks about total quality management. First being, we understood that it is customer focused completely, where it first tries to understand the customer's needs, requirements, expectations, and thereby works only towards the same, tends to create value for the customer, satisfies the customer with the products or the services offered. We also understood the different advantages of having a customer focus. So I hope that you understand the first principle we discussed in the previous lecture, because ultimately you require customers to stay loyal for your organization. One loyal customer can influence many other customers positively for the organization and its products and services. So you need to keep your customers satisfied by understanding their needs and requirements and thereby providing them with a good quality product at a reasonable price. We understood with number 2, that was leadership, wherein the human resource personnel should pay attention to lead the employees in such a way that they have a unity of direction, a unity of purpose. They are working towards a common goal, a common purpose for the organization in the same direction. So again, we understood its benefits, how it helps enable good coordination and communication. Number 3, we understood about the engagement of people, meaning to say you want an engaging workforce. You want everybody in the organization to be wholeheartedly involved in the continuous improvement of quality in whatever task they are performing. It is not the job of a single employee, or it is not the task only of the manufacturing department. Everybody in whatever part they perform, whatever task they do, they have to be conscious towards the quality, because it is only then that the final product is a product of ultimate quality without having any errors or defects. Thereby, students, we understood its benefits as well. Students, number 4, I explained you the process approach, that is to treat the entire production process or any sort of organizational process to be a coherent system, everything interrelated with each other. Number 5, we understood about improvement. So I had told you that it deals with a continuous improvement. It is not a one-time show, not a quick fix. You have to work towards an incremental improvement, continuous improvement of the quality, because there are so many factors that tends to bring so many changes, whether internally or externally. So you need to change with the changing circumstances. Number six, an evidence based decision making. So I had talked about how your decisions based on some evidence, based on some factual data, reliable information helps you create objectivity and helps you take the correct decisions whatsoever. Thereby, students, the seventh principle we discussed was the relationship management, where you need to maintain relationships also with the interested parties. Could be the stakeholders such as customers, suppliers, competitors. You need to maintain relations with them as well so that it helps you have a stable flow of the goods and services. So students, I hope that you understood all what we have discussed up till now pertaining to total quality management. Without any further discussion, we now begin with the topic for today that talks on the relationship between total quality management and the traditional, or I can say the functional management practices. We are now going to understand a comparative study, a difference between the two. When I talk about total quality management, it is definitely a modern concept. It is something that has been accepted worldwide in almost every organization, where everybody is conscious towards the quality of the products and the services they offer, where every employee working in the organization is made responsible for the same, and where customers are satisfied by keeping their needs and expectations in mind. But on the other hand, there was also something that was traditionally followed. That is to say, the traditional approach or the functional management approach. So, even that has to be compared with total quality management as to why and how TQM is a better concept as compared to the traditional or the functional approach. So up till now you have studied everything about TQM, how does it work and what is its concept. Today you will also understand the difference between the two and how the traditional concept and approach was different than TQM. So we are going to have a comparative study today. So students, number one, now before we understand it in the comparative form or in the difference form, I would first be explaining you the concept of both TQM and functional management again, and then we begin with the comparative study of both. Now, TQM, you already know that it focuses on the customers. It takes the view that profit follows quality and not the other way around. You very well know by now that TQM is a customer focused approach where it will consider the needs and the expectations of the customers and work for its fulfillment. It considers quality to be of prime importance and follows that once quality is established, customers' needs are satisfied, the profits will definitely follow. But it is not the other way around. It views quality is composed of multidimensional attributes. So we all know that it is considering the aspect of quality a lot and thereby satisfying the customer's needs. But then, if I talk about the traditional management, it neglects the customer oriented dimensions. It has broadly paid attention only to increased productivity, increased manufacturing or production, but hardly has paid attention to the customer oriented dimensions or the customer's needs and expectations. So I hope you at least understood a difference between the two. As I said, in traditional management, economy of scale is seen as a desirable objective. Now, you might have understood this term economy of scale previously. Economy of scale is mainly to reduce your cost of production by increasing the number of products you produce. The more products you produce, the cost per product will tend to go down. So in traditional management, quality aspect or customer focus is not considered. Rather, they focus more on increased production so as to reduce the cost and thereby achieve high efficiency, high volumes, maximum products are perceived as desirable. You pay attention only to increased production but not of good quality. While in TQM, both economy in time and economy of scope are pursued. could be just in time production, that is to say you are producing only when the need of the product is there. You tend to have lower inventories. You do not block your money or block your resources more in the inventories. Rather, you shall purchase the inventory and produce the stock whenever required. Quick customer response to serve customers better and quickly. So definitely it is more customer responsive. It tends to meet with the needs and the expectations of customers, providing them good quality products and services. So students, this was to help you understand the concept of TQM and functional management, where you understood that on one hand, TQM being customer focused and quality oriented, on the other hand, traditional approach is more towards increased production. Moving ahead, students, TQM creates goal-directed connections between customer, managers, and workers. The second very important aspect of TQM that we have discussed is that it pays attention to quality, but then also considers every employee responsible for the same. Everybody is motivated to contribute, and each and every employee is empowered to find better ways to work, whether the person is from lower level, middle level, or the higher level, whether bottom, middle, or top. Everybody has to be encouraged to improvise the quality and to improve at whatever they are doing. So, drawing on the concepts of participative management, employees are given a significant role under TQM. So, basically, in TQM, we can say that quality is never the responsibility of a single person or maybe a single manager, but on the other hand, everybody in the organization is held responsible for the same. While in contrast, in traditional management, the workers must work and the managers should manage. The manager of quality control is responsible for quality. So, as you can see in traditional management, there is a difference between people who think and the people who do. The thinkers and doers are already being separated, and it is only the manager of quality control who shall be responsible for the quality, but not the organization at large. Secondly, traditional management is characterized by strong divisions of labor. As I said, it separates the manual work from the mental work. People who would only think and people who would perform, they both are segregated. On the other hand, TQM emphasizes flexible, multi-skilled workforce that can move easily from one job to another. So we can say that TQM is a much flexible approach where it considers multi-skilled workforce who can multitask and thereby also enables job rotation, rotating them or shifting them from one job to another, thereby enhancing their skills and capabilities on the another level. So TQM is a process-oriented approach, thus assuring focus on the process over a long-term improvement to attain the long-range goals. It is an incremental approach to improve process quality. As I said, it is an incremental approach. You do not stop while improving your quality. You keep on improvising the quality of the products, of the tasks that you perform in an incremental order. It keeps on increasing, it keeps on improvising. It empowers people to improve the way they work. People are at the root of all the improvement efforts because everybody is involved. So the barriers to communication will be removed and the redundant activities, that is to say, unproductive activities, are eliminated. Such a working environment is given that they feel comfortable, they do not feel strained at the workplace. So basically, I can say that TQM in a nutshell is such an approach that considers customers' expectations, tries to fulfill the same by enabling a continuous improvement of quality, not only by a single person, but by engaging every employee working in the organization, thereby removing all the barriers to communication and giving them such an environment where they can actually work better towards continuous improvement of quality. On the other hand, if I talk about traditional management, it focuses on a hierarchical or a vertically structured organization where the work to be done by the people is segregated in such a manner that there are number of layers of authority. There is a short span of control. There are number of levels which have been shown, such as the bottom, top, and the middle level. While TQM, on the other hand, helps you create a networking organization. Everybody is able to rotate from one job to another job. So there is job rotation being possible in case of TQM. They form different disciplines, come together and seek a permanent solution to each problem. It advocates a flatter organizational structure. If I can explain you, the traditional management is quite hierarchical, where you see number of layers in the organization, you see number of levels and people performing one below the other. But in case of TQM, there is more of a flatter structure where there are lesser number of levels and the authority is pushed downwards. That is to say, employees are given the responsibility and the authority to work better. So students, this was all to explain you basically the relationship between the traditional management and the total quality management. I hope at least you got an idea between the concept of both of them, because with this understanding, now we can understand a comparative study of both TQM and the traditional approach. You have very well understood already the difference in the form of its concept as to what does TQM focus on, what does the traditional approach focuses, but there are some 10 to 15 points of difference that you can make based on whatever you have studied up till now. The moment you would see the points of difference, you ultimately would be able to differentiate on your own. Let us begin with number one, that you see management understanding attitude. So I hope you remember that in TQM, everybody was a part of quality management, while in case of the traditional approach, they definitely blame the quality department for the same. So let us read. TQM considers quality management as an essential part of company system. Profits follow the quality and not the other way around. They are much more concerned towards quality. This could be the first point itself of difference that should come to your mind. On the other hand, the traditional approach has no compensation for quality. It is not even considered as an integral part. They will just blame the quality department for the quality problem. Number two, quality organization status. So quality is through the leader. Definitely the leader would be guiding the employees how to improvise on quality. But as I said, it will consider quality only hidden in manufacturing. Its basic aim is to increase the production. Quality is never considered an integral part of the organization. So quality is not considered as a separate dimension altogether in the traditional approach. It is something already hidden in the production, and so only those who are producing should care for that, no one else. That is the concept of the traditional approach. Number three, problem handling. So I explained you earlier that TQM has a proactive approach. It tends to prevent the problems even before they arise. But on the other hand, the traditional approach has a firefighting approach where it is quite reactive. We'll try to solve the problems after they occur. So on one hand, where TQM is preventing the problems, on the other hand, the traditional approach will fight out the problems once they arise. So we can say while TQM is proactive, this is quite reactive. Number four, quality improvement action. So here considered to be a continuous activity, but here we are focused more on what the management requires. Number five, priority. So the focus is on customer satisfaction. That is to say, we would be improvising on quality, but we would also focus on the needs of customers. But here, the focus is on the managerial requirements. You are basically focused only towards what the management wants and increase the production, reduce the cost of production, but know where the customer comes into picture, know where the quality comes into picture. Coming to the next set of differences, Number 6, organization. Even this we studied that TQM has more of a flatter organizational structure. You have cross networking teams where everybody is involved in the process of quality improvement. But the traditional approach, it was quite hierarchical, vertically also. Everybody is there, one down below each other. That is to say, there are a number of levels involved in the organization. Number 7, span of control. So large span of control with authority almost pushed down to the lowest level. You have a larger span of control, that is to say, number of people working together, and there is delegation of authority and responsibility even to the lowest level. But over here, there is a shorter span of control. There are not many people working under someone, and there are many layers of authority. Number 8, production schedule. So as I explained you, it believes on number of dimensions such as economy to time, just-in-time production, quick customer response. So it is much of customer responsive by giving them products with good quality. But as I said, the traditional approach focuses only on increased production and not on the customer responsiveness, or not on improvising the quality or meeting with the customer's needs. Number 9, communication. So it is conveyed with action. As I said, you do not want any barriers to communication under TQM because everybody is focused towards quality. So there has to be proper communication amongst them, while the traditional approach, it is conveyed by slogan. Number 10, perception of quality. We also studied this in the concept that it is multi-dimensional, and all the dimensions pertaining to quality are customer oriented, but here only a single dimension, that is to say conform to the specifications, but customer oriented focus was completely neglected over here. And few last differences between TQM and traditional approach. So number 11, responsibility for quality. We know that in TQM, each and every employee is considered responsible, but here only the manager of quality control. Number 12, employees. So employees are motivated. I explained you earlier that they were encouraged, they were empowered to work irrespective of whichever level they belong to, but they should be working and they should be improvising the ways they are working. But it emphasizes on the monolithic work pattern where opportunities for employee participation do not exist. Workforce, we discussed that there is a flexible, multi-skilled workforce which can multitask, which can be rotated from one job to another, but it emphasizes more on division of labor, where the manual work and the mental work has to be separated. Thinkers and doers are two different people according to the traditional approach. Quality productivity relationship, that is to say how far quality is related to the productivity. So TQM believes that they are highly correlated. Increased quality will increase the productivity, but as I said, the contribution of quality in improving productivity is not considered, not recognized in the traditional approach. Number 15, ways of improving. So we had brought about a change in the corporate culture where employees are educated. They are educated how to make use of process control, how to improvise the quality of work with it, whatever they are doing. But in traditional approach, we do not give such a freedom to the employees. We do not allow employees engagement, and therefore it leads to improvement in inspection and gauging. It is much in the inspection part, but not giving that kind of flexibility and education to the employees to work for betterment. And lastly, keys to firm success. So in a nutshell, I can say that TQM believes that the success of an organization depends on the customer satisfaction and producing high quality goods and services, while the traditional approach believes that it can only be possible by increasing the sales, thereby increasing the profits and the return on investment. So students, I hope that you understood whatever we studied today. We have revised the concept of TQM, its history, its importance, its principles, and thereby I explained you again one new topic that talks about the difference between TQM and the traditional or the fundamental approach. In a nutshell, to summarize the difference, to summarize the relationship, I can say one thing, that on one hand, where TQM is customer focused approach, considers the needs, gives priorities to the customers, and thereby improvises the quality of every product, every service that it offers. It enables every employee to be engaged and to be conscious about the quality, helps them enable good communication without any barriers, helps them rotate from one job to another, and thereby creates such an environment where everybody is working towards an incremental improvement, continuous improvement of their task. On the other hand, the traditional approach does not focus on the customer needs, does not focus on the quality aspect, but just believes in the increased productivity, thereby increasing the profits and the return for the organization, where employees are not delegated the authority. There is a division of work between the mental and the manual work, but otherwise quality is not given that much importance. There are a number of levels in the organization given importance over here, while TQM emphasizes on a flatter organization where authority is pushed till the bottommost level. So students, I hope that you at least got an understanding about how they both are different to each other. I give you some time, have a look again at all the points that we have discussed so far. You can basically pay attention to the words highlighted in yellow, so you get an understanding, a comparative picture of both of them. And the remaining differences. So students, I hope you understood the points of difference between TQM and the traditional approach. Before that, we also discussed the concept at large. So students, I hope that you understood the topic that we have done for today. That is to say, a relationship, a comparative relationship between TQM and the traditional management practices. In case you have any doubts, feel free to ask them in the Google Classroom and I shall be answering to them at the earliest. See you soon in the next lecture where we shall be moving ahead, and instead of discussing now total quality management, we shall now be discussing few techniques or few I can say things related to the total quality management, such as we are going to understand with the continuous improvement practices, we are going to understand the lean management, and we would also have one concept to be studied very popularly known as Six Sigma. So students, in the next lecture, instead of just talking on TQM, we shall now be talking on some techniques, some concepts pertaining to TQM, and keep reading. You have been provided the notes already for the unit 1. That would be, of course, the syllabus for your assignment as well. So do read the notes that have been provided to you. Thank you so much for the day, students, and until then, happy learning.